Greetings, everyone. I want to talk to you today about the importance of exercise for your spiritual strength. Now, I'm going to talk about exercise a lot because I'm a therapist. I'm a corrective exercise specialist. I help people with their alignment. I love going to the gym. So, we're going to have plenty of videos on exercise, but this specific one is about how exercise boosts your spiritual strength. I'm going to share with you a very interesting story about how I came to this conclusion. So when I was younger, I was training to be a professional tennis player. And so I'd practice like 6 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, minimum. So it was a lot of stress on my body. It took a big toll on my body. I really wrecked myself. And I had to stop playing. I had to just completely stop and just take care of my recovery. So I started doing a lot of yoga. And so I went from going all in with working out and tennis and just overdoing it, overtraining, to going to this more peaceful, more grounding art of rehabilitating the body and recovering, regenerating. And so I had a very profound change. Like, yoga really impacted me. And I got really into it. Yeah. And I started thinking that yoga is the answer. Yoga is the answer to all my health problems, and my well-being is going to be tip-top shape as long as I just do yoga. And then I started getting into different spiritual arts, spiritual practices like Reiki, started learning different breathing practices, meditations, even working in the shamanic arts a little bit. And so I started to see how people explore their well-being in these different arts, in these different ways. And because I came from a background where I had been traumatized from overtraining, and I went into this healing space of spirituality and yoga, I thought, hey, this is the answer. This is the way. Forget exercise. And what happened to my body in that process over a few years is I started losing tremendous muscle mass. I started having a lot more body pain than I ever did. I started getting depressed. I started realizing things were just not working out for me in my life. Like, my luck was off too. And the more these things happened, the deeper I tried to go into stretching through yoga and meditating and doing shamanic arts, trying different shamanic medicines and things, and none of that stuff worked. In fact, some of it did the opposite. It just made things worse. And that's another video as to why that is. But I finally looked in the mirror and I had to say, this is not working. Something has to change. And I finally got around to saying, you know what, I just need to go back to the gym. And I'm kind of glad I had the journey that I did, being a little traumatized from overtraining, like being a top-notch athlete, tip-top shape, but just overtraining, to coming into a place where I needed to be restored, but realizing that wasn't like the complete answer. Like, there needs to be a holistic approach. So when I got back into exercising, I was getting back into it, weight training, calisthenics, things like that. I was getting back into it with more of an understanding about meditation, about one-pointed focus, about breath work, about how to breathe properly, about my anatomy of motion through yoga. And I was able to bring the spirituality of what I'd experienced in that spiritual realm, bring it to working out. And here's how, okay? Like, every time I go to the gym, I try to do something that's either kind of challenging for me, accomplishable but challenging, or something that I didn't think I could do. Always. I try to do one of the two. If I'm having a rough day, I'll just try to do something challenging. If I'm really feeling it, I'll really try to push the limits and do something I didn't think I could do. And what that's done to me, first of all, it's changed my attitude, my outlook on life. Like, I feel like a go-getter. I feel like I can do anything I want if I set my mind to it and stay persistent. But it also showed me that, you know, when you put yourself in a situation where you could fail, but you could also succeed, you really have to focus. It brought my focus to that one pointed state that, if anything, has helped my meditation. And I also believe that working out, you know, now that I've seen like some of the shamanic arts, things that shamans do using medicines and other, you know, healing crafts, exercise has also been a great way to spiritually cleanse. And I'll tell you why. When you put yourself through something that's really, really hard, right? A lower vibration version of you that thinks negative thoughts about yourself, that doubts yourself, it can't survive in that environment. That's why it's so important to really push yourself to those points of discomfort when you exercise, when you train, because you're only the best of you can survive in that space. Any doubts, any negative energies, or if you want to believe in it, entities or demons, they can't live in that space. It's just not possible. And so if you do that every day, day in, day out, it is such a powerful cleanse. Like I've seen my gut health improve just by working out. Like not changing anything about my diet, just working out. My gut health improves. My energy levels go up. My luck improves. My confidence obviously goes up. And here's why, right? Like, let's say you had the worst day ever, okay? But you go to the gym, you do something you didn't think you could do, or you challenge yourself and you succeed at that. You won. You won at life that day. You accomplished something that day. You advanced yourself. And I got to tell you, even if I've had a bad day and I go work out, my outlook about that day changes completely after I work out. Completely. I've never gone to the gym and come out depressed. Never. I've always come out in a better mood, in a better vibration, and more often than not, with more energy. So this is my testament to why exercise is great for your spiritual strength. It puts you through a discomfort that challenges your character. It helps cleanse you of lower vibrations, of negative thoughts, because they can't live in that environment when you're pushing yourself to a higher potential. And just one last closing thought before we end this video is that, you know, I spoke about exercise, but I didn't like clarify what kind of exercises to do. I definitely will in future videos, but all I would say is, like, make sure you're exercising for wellness, that you're not just exercising for no reason or overdoing it in one way. Make sure there's balance in the whole body, that each part of the body is you know, has some attention put to it, and that you feel stable, symmetrical, aligned in your body. It's very important, because alignment in the body is alignment in the thoughts, alignment in your luck, in your potential, in your charisma. It's all connected. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for sticking around to the end. I'll definitely make more videos on topics like physical health, spiritual stuff. You know, I really have a deep background in these fields, in these worlds. And I'm really looking forward to sharing my stories and perspectives with you. So thank you for watching. Until next time, many blessings.